A sunny day and a big crowd on hand for the Outlaws Truck and Tractor Pulling Series from Wisner, Nebraska. This is Paul Tyus.
Yeah, the man coming out of Oxley, Texas, long ways away from home. Points champion with the Texas Truck and Tractor Pulling Association. We've watched other classes here today, and those like the left side, and this pickup is not going to be no different. Love the sound of that V8 motor singing. He's right next to that left sideline. That is one whale of a pass, 308 and 86. You gotta love it.
First pull of the day, how's the track?
It seems to be all right. Might be a little slimy. I think as the day goes on, it's going to dry up and get better for the rest of the guys. So,
are you comfortable with your pull?
Fair. I thought we should have been down there around 320, but it's hard to say on the first pull whether you keep it or not, so we just kept it.
The crew on top of everything, getting the track ready for our next pullers coming up.
In the heart of the Midwest, there's a band of modern-day marauders. Mounted atop their beasts, they line up to throw down. They are outlaws.
From Wisner, Nebraska, welcome to Thunder by the River and the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Series. Hello, everyone. I'm Claude Wood, along with our expert analyst and former puller, Dave Bennett. Rick Carlson working the sidelines today. Glad you have joined us. Today's classes, Pro 4x4, Super Farm, and Limited Pro Stock. A lot of action coming at you. So let's get things going now as they check out the track. So let's get it started with Pro Stock 4x4, and this is part of a husband and wife team. This is Marty Selman.
Marty and Louetta, share the driving. They work very well together on this truck, helping each other, figuring out how to make it work better every show they go to. Marty's going to take the same pass as the man from Texas took. They are going to crowd that white line. Going to wear that side out, I'm here to tell you. You can see that checkered flag right there by the front of the pickup. He's going to fall in a little short, and he knows it. He's looking at that flag at 2:98.57.
And that is Dad giving his daughter some instruction. Jordan Compton, the driver of Ford Tough.
Oh, the little lady. This will be her second year as she starts pulling. And she is one tough on, but she pulls in other associations. But everybody wants to come to Thunder by the River to see how they can shape up against the rest of the competition. Kind of done a little crab walk right there on the end, goes 296.78, going to hurt her just a bit.
How was the track that time for your pull?
It was good, a little rough. Other than that, it was fine.
Now, how long have you been doing this?
I started last June, so a year.
Kyle Karsten's getting all set to pull next. You know, weight is a very important thing when it comes to pulling. Earlier today, Rick Carlson found out more.
Truck and tractor pulling, much different from all the other forms of motorsports. Everything else has a minimum weight. But for the trucks and tractors, they want to weigh as much as they legally can. So they put a maximum weight on there. Each one of the vehicles, be it a truck or a tractor, goes across the scale before their pull, making sure that they have the right weight. The more weight you can get, the better you can hook up to the track. But too much will get you tossed.
Kyle Karsten's getting ready to go, and you know, Dave, all the other pullers really set up on that left side of the track. Kyle is away over on the opposite side.
He's either going to be a hero or a zero. He's seen something over there that he wanted to try. We're going to find out right quick. Man out of Parker, Kansas with the bad habit, caused the truck bad habit. Oh, look at that flagman have to go up where he's at. Well, we know where that's going to put him. He ain't liking it. 274.77, way back.
Our next competitor will be Donnie Reinerson, and he calls his truck Black Gold.
One of two pullers out of Kansas. This man comes out of Blue Mound, Kansas. Knows where he's got to go to. There's a checkered flag down on the other end of the track, shows where the leader mark is. And he's going to hammer and hammer and hammer, work the motor just as hard as he can. Going to come up short on that distance. It's going to look like it's going to go to 286.50.
The Pro 4x4 leaderboard, Texan Paul Tyus in first place. 1, 2, and 3 held by Ford.
This coverage of the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association is being brought to you by Will Cross. Good product, good prices, good service. And by Metis Tire, fit for your job. And by Stop Fire, the world's best fire extinguisher. And by ARP, the world leader in fastener technology.
As always, a great crowd on hand today enjoying the exciting pulling action from the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Series. Here comes the Tater Wagon. This is Dave Walters.
Tater Wagon, Chevrolet. Now, Ford's sitting up there in them top 3 places. They're going to get gunning at them big time. Never did know why Dave calls the truck Tater Wagon, but as long as it hauls the spuds, that's all you need to know. I don't know how they get any closer to that sideline. Man, they're wearing that sideline out, but he's still right in amongst them. A good pull, 291 and 37.
And out of Holden, Missouri, this is Danny Brockhouse, and he calls it Holden Strong.
A little bit of play on the name of the truck in the hometown and such that, but it's still a Ford, and he's proud of that fact. Now, this guy can get in. He pulls a couple of different associations. He gets right in on the action with everybody. You never count this guy out. Now, he is over on that side, but not as close to the sideline as the others, and he's going to be in the hunt at 290 and 85.
And that'll bring up Randy Johnson as you get a good look at him in the cab, getting all set to do business there. It's unbelievable, Dave. Look at that. They look to be about a foot from that line.
So close. So close. And these pickups pretty well, you know, we refer to it in the sport as building a road. You've seen one man try it over on that far right side, and the Grizzly right here, he's on the left side. Everybody else going to stay on the road now. Nobody's going to get off. 289 and 49.
Let's go on board with Randy Johnson. And Dave, I just love the way, looking from this angle, look at the dirt being kicked up by this 4x4.
And that actually shows it's a pretty good track. When you're throwing up those kind of chunks, that means those tires are getting a bite and they're not throwing up sand, if you will. And that motor was working. Nice pass.
Sandy Anstein coming up next, and she calls her truck the Lone Ranger.
Yeah, I like the Lone, L-O-A-N. What perfect for a woman to be driving a truck with dollar bills on the side of it that's Lone. You gotta love it. Out of Chilhowie, Missouri. She's not showing no mercy on that motor. Stayed in the road, stayed on the pass, making the flagman back up. Going to be right in the middle of the pack at 289 and 90. Nice pass for the lady.
Pro 4x4 final results. Ford takes 4 out of the top 5 spots. Not too bad for Ford. Let's move it now to Super Farm. This is Dream On. So, Dave, what are the qualifications for Super Farm?
Super Farm class, you gotta love this right here. That's where all the horsepower is equal. Everybody uses the same fuel. Everybody uses the same water that is injected into the motor with the fuel. They all got the same size turbo. Dream On right here. Rodney Deck stayed in the center of the track, let it bounce around. Gets that pull of 311.36. I bet you he keeps that pull. He's gonna like it.
Our next puller is Steve Cavan. Rick has a little background on Steve.
Steve Cavan, I mean, Super Farm is what you drive, but you've got a dyno.
Yes.
You've got a machine shop.
Yes.
You drive other people's tractors.
Yes.
It's like, what don't you do?
You know, I don't know. I'm kind of a jack of all trades, I guess.
That's it. Now, whose tractor do you drive this time? Pride of the Farm.
Pride of the Farm, I partner with Kent Moravik here on it. We do a lot of wrenching on it together, and I do a lot of the driving. I'll get him talked to getting in the seat once in a while, but...
How successful have you been in this tractor?
You know, we've had some pretty good years. It was a slow start, but we got her kind of dialed in and threw some new parts and pieces at it, and we've been having pretty good luck with it.
Must be nice to have all of those skills. Well, let's see if it transfers to the track.
Oh, I bet it will, because when it comes to this, the Cavans know how to get a horsepower out of a diesel motor. They're not bad drivers either. Wahoo, Nebraska going down the track. You seen those tires bouncing a little bit, motor having just a tick of trouble keeping the horse up there. 301.45 going to put him back in the back of the pack.
Pro 4x4s were setting up, Dave, on the left-hand side of the track. These super farms are all going to the right side.
Going to be in the center to the right. Different weight. You're talking 9,200 pounds right here. And it's kind of interesting how tracks are different. Cornhusker Cadillac, Clayton Schmidt, letting his tractor drift. You can see the tracks back behind the sled right there where he made a little bit of a U-turn almost. That's going to cost him, but he pulls in there at 302 and 10.
Not a bad pull at all. Here comes Barry Haveralls to pull next.
A three-owner tractor. You never know who's going to be sitting in the seat of this thing, but Barry's doing the driving today. Dave Rosebooms drives it some, and the other partner, Kurt Koyma, also drives it sometimes. Tractor hails out of Rock Valley, Iowa, the home of one of our other fantastic pulls. Looks like he's going to go cross-track. Going to try a little bit of a cross-track move, and it's going to work. Goes into second place at 310 and 52.
Missed it by 6 inches. What would you change if you were back at the starting area?
Oh, I probably would have stayed just a little bit further to the right.
Oh, Dave, that confirms what we were talking about spotting the sled. A crowd of all ages on hand today enjoying the action. We'll have more when we come back. Quite a crowd on hand today, as always, at the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Series, Thunder by the River. Let's let it ride with Dave Asmus.
Let it ride, a little bit of name on the gambling, and there is no gamble here. This guy is dialed in. That John Deere, just as good as you want to find anywhere out of Hoskins, Nebraska. The fact that all these boys use the same fuel, same water, you got to know how to put the power to the ground. He looks over to the right there. He's seen that checkered flag. So close. 306 and 40 seems to be a magic number.
Tom Delaney coming up next. Well, Dave, if you said they use the same fuel, the same water, then that brings it down to what? Driving skills?
Driving skills, that's all. You know, this guy might want 3 pounds of air in his tires. The next guy might want 7 pounds of air in his tires. It's expertise. So the Freedom Tractor working way down the track right here. Tom Delaney trying to get up in those upper places. So close. Looks like awful close. Oh, man, he goes into third place by 0.03 of a foot, 306 and 43.
And that'll bring up Alan Andrews out of South Dakota, so he calls it the Dakota Deer.
This is one of the old-time professionals in this class. This guy's been to more pulls than most of them's ever seen. He's a points champion for a fact in years past, likes the John Deere. Notice he is over to the left side of the track, a little looser dirt over there, and then the tractor goes to bouncing on him. And that bounce is going to cost him. He should be up the distance a little bit farther, but he only goes 299.47.
Rick Engelmeyer, he calls it Ultimate Muscle, and he is out of Nebraska.
And he's not far from home. Beamer, Nebraska, just a little ways from Wisner. So here we go with the Ultimate Muscle. He's gone back over to the right side. These boys are using the whole track. Whether one likes the left, one likes the right. He's going to drift over to that right side. And that 304 mark is so tough. And yes, it is 304 and 15, right in the middle of the hunt.
Continuing on in Super Farm, this one is absolutely nuts.
He don't want to go absolutely nuts here. Kevin Brandt out of Alden, Iowa. He just wants to make a nice smooth, he don't want that front end up in the air that high. Settle back down on him. That's going to cost him some distance at the other end. Way it come down, a little bouncing around, dancing right there. But, yeah, he's in the middle of the pack. Good pull, 299.84.
One puller remains in the class, and that is Norm Cavan. His son Steve pulled earlier, and Norm drives the Magnum Force.
This tractor is very well known from coast to coast. Regardless whether you go any other association, there's not a Super Farm puller in the United States that doesn't know the Magnum Force tractor. His expertise, his knowledge, this man knows how to get the most out of a Super Farm tractor, and that's just what he done right there. 306 and 40 puts him 5 feet short of the winner.
Rick is with our winner, Rodney Deck.
A whole bunch of them, and you ended up leading from early right through the end.
Yeah, I was a long wait there. I was like first hook and had to dodge 23 other. There's very good tractors behind there. It was kind of amazing you could hang on that long.
Super Farm, final results. Nebraska first, Iowa second, but take a look at third, fourth, and fifth. How close. What an exciting class. Now let's get it going with limited pro stock. Here comes the stroked out.
Brand new tractor, just got it finished at the very end of last year, just enough to know that the motor run. Hasn't had time to get it painted or get the stroked out name put on the side of it. But Jared Wortman is going to be the #1 hook in this class. Could have been a little lighter on the nose. He's right down at the big end, 308 and 88. It's going to be interesting to see whether he keeps that.
Jared comes out first, 308, good numbers.
Yeah, I thought for being first hook in the class, the way the track's going today, I thought, well, I better take a shot at it and hope for the best. Seemed like to be a decent pass.
Tony Wortman getting ready to make his pull. He is the brother of Jared, and we'll have that and more action when we come back to Wisner.
This coverage of the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pull Association is being brought to you by Riggins Ag Equipment. Spray it or spread it, we have what you need. And by Kaiser Wheels. We expect the results you dream about. And by Extreme Performance Tire Cutting. Be supreme by Extreme. And by Steel Rubber Products. Quality crafted rubber parts and weather stripping.
Another fantastic crowd on hand today for exciting action from the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Series. This is diesel shop owner Tony Wortman getting set to go.
Yeah, he actually used to be a service manager for a Ford house. Then he opened up his own diesel mechanic shop and works on the big trucks and works on tractors as well. And can he make them run? Tony Wortman out of Montgomery City, Missouri, helped put on a show in that town. Drifting over to the left, the flagman's backing up. You gotta like it. New leader, 3:11:02.
Tony, the 311, think it's going to hold up? It looked like it was good from this end.
It was a good pass. I don't think it'll hold up. Maybe I'll get lucky and it will, but there's a lot of good guys back there yet. But, you know, the track, it's hard to say. With the sunshine, I think the track's going to get a little drier and probably build a road.
Continuing in limited pro stock from Rock Valley, Iowa, this is Taylor Van Beek.
Now, Tony just said that there's a lot of good guys back there, and this is one to keep an eye on right here. The Extreme Pleasure out of Rock Valley, Iowa. Center of the track, good pressure in that motor. That smoke coming high out of that exhaust stack, letting it drift. Going to take it right down to the flagman. Got another new leader, 3:14:34.
Taylor, that's 3 feet over everybody else. That's a nice pull to start your afternoon.
Yeah, it felt pretty good. The tires hooked up just like they should have. Everything felt good. There's a lot of hard hitters back there, but so far, you know, my tires at Extreme Performance and Tire Cutting have been doing real good this weekend. We had every single class that we cut win last night, and we hope to do the same thing today.
Roger Learman getting ready to go now. Dave, as he pulls, let's keep an eye on that back tire. I'm seeing a lot of tire wrinkle, and I guess that's pretty normal.
Oh, you want to see that wrinkle in those tires. This class pretty well known for it. Wrinkle just a little bit right there. That means you're getting traction. Those tires are getting all the traction they can get. And they're running on red. He run on red all the way down the track. Goes 3:10 and 39. Nice distance.
And that will bring up our defending points champion, Craig Yankee.
Man is not in the points hunt this year, but he can really get up and be the spoiler for some of these other guys that's in the points race. Man out of Pilgrim, Nebraska, once again, not too far from home, wanting to really look good right here. And once again, we're wearing that left side out, and he's way over there. But see that checkered flag? It's not up there where he wants, but he does go second place right now, and he moves into second by 53 hundredths.
Seth Novak out of Howells, Nebraska, he's next. In the background, Dave, we can always see the crew prepping the track. Well, that's the surface. Is there still a groove underneath that surface?
They prepare it back to close to normal as possible, but there's still just a little bit of softness. They'll move the sled over a half of a notch, try to get out of those grooves. Seth and Dave Novak right here, they do a great job with the Mean Farmer. In fact, they do good enough to go into second place by 1.1 feet, 3:13:24.
Most of the pullers now working that left side. Todd Davidson coming up. Let's see where he spots the sled. Well, pretty much in the middle.
Well, high velocity in an AGCO tractor, you don't see many orange, but this man runs a dealership, an AGCO dealership, and he's going to start in the middle, as you said, and just going to let it drift over the side a little bit, and he's going to be right in the hunt as well. All these boys right in the same spot, 310 and 74.
And maybe that's that groove underneath there pulling him over to the left. Steve Shackelford is up next. He's out of Missouri.
Out of Chilhowie, Missouri, the International. See all different brands in this class. The all-business machine. Shackelford is all business. Center of the track, talking about those grooves. When you go across them, sometimes it makes those motors lunge a little bit. And he just kind of smooths her in there with a nice distance of 306 and 59.
Up next is Alex Barrett on Wampuscat. Now, his dad, Bill, is backing him up here. Alex is the last one to pull that can beat the mark of 3:14.34 set by this guy, Taylor Van Beek.
He's watching with all intensity because he knows that this tractor is a killer tractor. He can take him down. The last hook in the class front end's up in there. He's watching it come down at him. Guns a-blazing, shooting at that #1 mark. There's the checkered flag. Where is he going to file in? He wins the pull at 3:17.26.
Limited Pro Stock final results 1, 2, and 3. The young guns are firing straight ahead.
You sat there and everybody was just on pins and needles waiting until they could finally get it measured by 3 feet. You got the win. Very last pull.
I guess just right place, right time.
Sid, sitting back there watching everybody go in front of you. Any new plans? Did you change anything while you were waiting?
Not really. I guess my uncle put me in the right spot.
Well, when you got a driver as good as Alex and a man that knows the dirt like Uncle Ricky does, and then Dad giving him confidence, backing him up, that's a good spot to win.
It certainly is. So I think you're saying experience, experience, and some more experience. That'll put a wrap on today's pulling. For Dave Bennett and Rick Carlson, Claude Wood, so long from Wisner, Nebraska.